In this video, I'm going to list 7 common causes of mortality during brooding. I'm also going to explain how to reduce chicks' mortality during the brooding period and some extra bonus tips that will guide you against mortality during brooding. There is a very important point that I will drop with you by the end of this video, so make sure to watch till the end. Please, if this is your first time of coming across my YouTube channel, subscribe and turn on the bell icon so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't hesitate to give me a thumbs up and share so that others can benefit. It's an Herculean task during brooding, and a lot of farmers shy away from this brooding period because it's very stressful. Broiler chicks are especially vulnerable during the brooding period, especially the first 1 to 14 days of their life, and many early deaths can be traced to issues with management, environment, nutrition, or disease. And here is a breakdown of the main causes and how to reduce mortality during brooding. One common cause of mortality during brooding is chilling or overheating, and this has to do with temperature. When the temperature of the room is too cold, this leads to huddling or piling and chilling of the chicks. They huddle together, and in so doing, the ones at the bottom will die, and this is a loss to the farmer. Then, if the brooding temperature is too hot, it leads to dehydration, panting, and poor feed intake, whereby you notice that your birds will run away from the source of the heat and they will be panting, and this can lead to high mortality. Number 2 is poor ventilation. Once there is high ammonia or carbon dioxide level, this can damage the respiratory system. That is why you end up seeing a lot of broilers having chronic respiratory disease, and it could also lead to lack of oxygen stress. Lack of oxygen stresses the chicks and weakens the immunity, and in this case you discover that the birds will be susceptible to disease outbreak and they will die easily. The third point is inadequate access to feed and water. Weak chicks may not find feed or water quickly, so this can lead to high mortality during the brooding phase. And once there is dehydration in the first 24 hours, this is a major cause of early death. That is why I always advise people that your drinkers and feeders are filled with water and feed before your birds arrive. Then the fourth one is poor litter management. Once the litters are wet or moldy, this will promote disease outbreak and foot pad issues. Once there is dirty litter, this can harbor coccidia or bacterial infections, and this will lead to disease outbreak, eventually leading to the death of your broilers. The fifth point is diseases. When we talk about disease, we have bacterial infections, especially during the brooding. You see E. coli and Salmonella, they live side by side with your chicks if it's in a dirty environment. Then the viral infection that is likely to affect your chicks during brooding is Gumboro, Marek, and Newcastle disease. These are the 3 most deadly diseases that you need to avoid and that can cause high mortality for your broilers. Then the third one is coccidiosis. Once coccidiosis hits your birds, it causes high mortality. So try as much as possible to keep your litters dry. The 6th point is improper handling or transportation. When you rough handle your chicks for a long distance, by the time they get to your destination, they come down very weak and injured in most cases. So try as much as possible to handle them with care. The 7th and the last point is poor chick quality. When I mean poor chick quality, is when chicks from unhealthy parent stock or poorly managed hatcheries may be weak or have congenital issues. These chicks will tend not to stay long before they die. I want to go to the next phase, which is how to reduce this chick mortality during brooding. But before then, kindly help me to grow my channel by subscribing. Click the bell icon so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Give this video a thumbs up and share for others to benefit. The first way on how you can reduce chick mortality during brooding is to optimize the brooding temperature. Start at 32 to 34 degrees Celsius, that is around 90 to 93 degree Fahrenheit at chick level in the first week. Then you now reduce by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius weekly until it reaches 24 degrees Celsius, and that is roughly about 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure to also use thermometers and watch the chicks' behavior. Watching the chicks' behavior is that once they are evenly spread, that means the temperature, the brooding temperature is comfortable for them. But if they huddled together, that means the temperature is not okay, which signifies that there is cold. If they move away from the heat source, that means the temperature is too hot and you know what to do. The second way to reduce chick mortality during brooding is to provide clean and fresh water. Use easily accessible drinkers, not drinkers that the chicks will find it difficult to drink from. Then you should add electrolyte or glucose on day 1 to boost energy. You must do this if you want your chicks to survive. You have to clean your drinkers on a daily basis. There is a very important point that I will drop with you by the end of this video, so make sure to watch till the end. Then 3, ensure that you feed them early. Spread feed on paper or trays to stimulate feeding in the first hours. Then subsequently, you cannot be using your tray feeders. Ensure uniform access for all chicks such that all the chicks they have access to feed and water. Number 4 is to maintain good ventilation. Ensure to remove ammonia and moisture without chilling the brooder house. Also use side vents or fans appropriately for proper good ventilation. Then the 5th point is to use dry, clean litter. These litter are wood shavings or rice hulls, which are usually between 2 to 4 inches deep. This will help you a lot. And remove any wet spots. Once there is any water spill, make sure to pack that place out regularly. This will help to prevent disease outbreak. The 6th point is vaccination and biosecurity. Make sure to vaccinate against common diseases such as the Marek, Newcastle disease virus, and infectious Busa disease, and many others that you know that are susceptible in your area. Try as much as possible to limit visitors' access and disinfect equipment regularly. You should also try as much as possible to practice all in, all out, whereby you bring in all your birds at the same time and you sell all at the same time before bringing in a fresh batch again. The 7th point is to monitor the chick behavior constantly. Like I always say, brooding time is not sleeping time. Even if you have automatic system that can detect errors, you still need to check the status of your birds. Check for signs of distress, huddling, panting, lethargy, and many others. And you should adjust the temperature, feed, water, and light accordingly. The 8th point is that you should ensure good chick quality. Always make sure to get your chicks from a trusted and reliable hatcheries that have proper vaccination and hygiene protocols. Let me give you some extra tips that are very important. But before I give you, please, if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, turn on the bell icon, and share for others to benefit. Here are the extra points I have for you. You should provide 24 hours light for the first 24, 48, or 72 hours. This will help the chicks to find feed and water. 2. You should weigh a sample of chicks at day 7 to ensure that you have a target weight gain of not less than or approximately 4.5 to 5 times the hatch weight. This will determine the end of your broiler. Also make sure to keep records of mortality and investigate any spike. This is another aspect that I want to share with you. If you notice that your birds are not eating and you want to stimulate them to eat, especially the first day of arrival, maybe you want to stimulate them to eat or you want to stimulate them to drink water, just tap the feeders or the drinkers and you will discover that these chicks, they will run towards you, towards where you are tapping, and they will begin to eat and drink. I believe you've gotten tangible information from this video. Kindly help me to grow my channel by subscribing and turn on the bell icon so that you don't miss subsequent upload. Give this video a thumbs up and share for others to benefit. Thanks.